For the latest Blade Runner news updates, be sure to visit hybridnetworkyt.com. What it do, ski? It's Farewell34 here with a brand new Blade Runner topic video. The sequel to Ridley Scott's 1982 sci-fi hit Blade Runner 2049, will be making its way into theaters this fall. The first official trailer and some other small pieces of footage from the film have come out, and we know that it'll take place 30 years in the future. From what is shown so far, Blade Runner 2049 opens up a lot of questions for what happened between the first movie and the new one. One question in particular is with Deckard and how he ends up back into the fold 30 years later. So for this video, we're going to talk about what happened to Deckard after Blade Runner, so let's get into it. So before we get into the actual answer, it's important to know that we'll be drawing from information from other cuts of the original film. Blade Runner has multiple cuts, and specifically different versions of the ending varying slightly from one another. So in Blade Runner 2049, we see that none other than Harrison Ford has returned into the fold as Deckard 30 years later, as Officer K has gone to look for him. What happened to him ever since we last saw him leave with Rachel? Well, what I believe happened is Deck did what he said he wanted to do during Blade Runner, and that was head north. There's a couple of reasons why he wanted to go north, and which will explain what's happened after the movie. So Deckard, after his ordeal with Rachel and the other events that transpired in the movie, longs for his own life, realizing how limited it is, and he leaves his job to escape the Tyrell Corporation and society with Rachel to enjoy the rest of his life with her. Well, how do we know that they went north? Apart from her having a fur coat on in the original ending, in the alternative ending cuts, we actually can see that Deckard and Rachel are literally driving, which what appears to be north. In addition to this, another alternative ending has the same sequence of them with slightly different shots, with Deckard voicing over saying, and I quote, "4 years he figured. Tyrell told me Rachel is special, no termination date. I didn't know how long we had together. Who does?" They continue to drive off into the snowy mountain terrain. This further solidifies the fact that Deckard wants to spend the rest of his life with her in peace, away from everything he used to know. Now, connecting to Blade Runner 2049, what happens a little later on is we see in the trailer, Officer K, played by Ryan Gosling, encounters Deckard looking for answers. What I think happens from the footage we've seen so far is K actually goes north in search of Rachel and Deckard, only to find they are not there. We get hints of this by the various mountain and snowy terrains, both of Deckard and Kay. Specifically, they are separated and not seen together in this area. Plus, they appear to meet up for the first time in the hotel looking spot from the first movie with the orange color scheme. And second, we see that Kay finds an engraving with what appears to be a date of 6/10/21. What I believe this is the date of Rachel's death. Kay goes up looking for answers for Deckard, comes empty-handed, and goes back searching for him, only to find a jaded and lonely Deckard later on, where we see them meet in the trailer. Anyway, that wraps it up for this video on what happened to Deckard after Blade Runner. As always, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Hybrid Network if you haven't already. What do you think happened after Blade Runner? Do you think something different happened? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm Fail34. I'll see you next time. Take care.